fair there as well on Tuesday. Congressman Clarke, the unemployment rate for African Americans was high when President Obama took office. It was at 12.7%. July of this year, the unemployment rate for African Americans, 15.9%. It's truly grown. What can he realistically do about it if Congress isn't willing to support him?
Well, first of all, the unemployment rate in our community, and I'm born and raised here in the city of Detroit, in the inner city, it's always been high. Even when the economy was booming, African Americans, especially black males, they were still unemployed. So the Congressional Black Caucus, of which I'm a member, and the president, we both agree that in order for us to have a strong economy, individual Americans have to be financially secure. Now, that means more than just getting a job. Let me just share this with you, though. Having a job really isn't the ultimate goal that I'm trying to push. That's a temporary measure. Black folks in this country need to build wealth again. You know, many years ago here in the city of Detroit, African Americans owned businesses in the community. Now, no one in the neighborhood owns really anything. The little money African Americans had were tied up in their homes. They lost all of that in the foreclosure crisis, and now people are in debt. So we need to aggressively cut consumer debt.
And we know that African Americans were hit especially hard in the housing crisis. What you're seeing on the left-hand side of your screen there is the Atlanta Jobs Fair sponsored by the Congressional Black Caucus. I just wanted to mention that the 22nd through the 23rd, it's going to Miami, and then the 30th through the 31st, it will be in Los Angeles. Congresswoman Maxine Waters, your colleague on the Congressional Black Caucus, has been especially outspoken. She was on Morning Joe, and she says the CBC just feels left out of any jobs agenda. Let me play it.
Economy, the loss of jobs, the pain is real. We're talking about indisputable facts. And so we've got to be in the discussion. We want to be part of the solution. We cannot continue to go on watching everybody talk about what the solutions are without us being included in it.
Congressman, the president is blaming Congress for the impasse and says, look, my hands are tied. If you want to blame somebody, blame the recalcitrant Congress that can't get anything done.
You know, I'm not here to lay blame. I'm trying to put people back to work and give people some security and hope. Barack Obama is the president of the United States. He's not the president over a certain community. He's not the representative of Metro Detroit. That's what my job is. So we, as members of the Congressional Black Caucus, we must be strong advocates and let the White House know what our people need and fight for that in Congress. But also, let me just share this with you, though. We as African Americans, we've got to change our own attitudes. We got to get rid of this victim's mentality. We've got to be aggressive, see the value of getting an education, staying in school, and realizing that we have something to offer for ourselves in this country.
And to that end, is there also a responsibility to see your own role in the political process and not to let the economy discourage people from getting involved in the political process?
You know, it's easy for me to say that, but even with the skills that I have personally, and I'm effective as a member of Congress in Washington, I gave up hope years ago. I was unemployed, I was on food stamps, and I had given up all faith that I would ever work again. So I can understand how people can have that mindset, but it really is a victim's mentality that we must overcome so that we value staying in school and understand that we really can get the education and training we need to be productive. But I will say one thing, though, is that we as members of Congress have got to fight these cuts that are being proposed, because in the past, when blacks were heavily discriminated in employment, it was through government jobs, working in the post office, being a teacher, and a firefighter were one of the few decent jobs that African Americans could have equal access to right now.
Reverend Jesse Jackson calls it...
We cannot allow those cuts to go through.
Yeah, he calls it the entry into the middle class, those civil service jobs, and very important for moving people off poverty rolls. Congressman, it's so good to talk to you. I really appreciate your message today. Thank you.
You're very welcome, and we can do this. Let's keep the faith.
Okay, so, you know, the president won the '08 election in part because